What's going on, everybody? We are back, the Sideline Specialist, with episode number 27. We are talking plenty of NFL. We're talking if it's Michael Penix time or not. We are
It
talking
is.
the Eagles game in terms of their passing abilities and A.J. Brown's post-game
Ooh,
interview.
I have a perfect summary
Whether
for that.
whether or not the Kansas City Chiefs have sacrificed their loved ones to bring black magic to every single game that the rest of us can't stand anymore, plus plenty more. So without further ado, let's jump into things.
Welcome to Sideline Specialists.
And we are back. What's going on, Tom?
Yo, what a fun week! What
This
a fun week in
was
sports.
pretty crazy.
So, all right, I'm just gonna say this right off rip because I have to. Because literally, I sent you the message on Facebook, which I'm sure you saw.
Yes.
All right, so I'll actually say it like this: the NL East is going to become the first division in baseball to have a champion, like a championship from every team in this century.
Okay.
So obviously you had the Marlins in 03, you had the Phillies in 08, you had the Braves, you had obviously the Nationals already. The Mets are the only team that hasn't won one. And they just signed Juan Soto to the biggest contract in sports history. Literally $765 million. And at first I saw that number and was like, holy, he's not better than, he is, let's be clear, he is not better than Shohei Ohtani, but they signed him for more than Shohei. So the Mets are fully all in. I'm pissed at my Phillies because he was a guy they should have absolutely been way more in talks with. However, and this is the only baseball segment we'll probably have, and it'll be like a minute. The Phillies, in retaliation, if I had to assume, will probably go after a lot, or they'll probably focus on one guy. But if they can't just get one, they'll probably go after a lot of these like Korean, Japanese guys who just got that like permission from their leagues to declare for MLB.
Right.
But I look at the Mets right now, and if I had to be honest, I'd be like, yeah, no, they have to be the favorites. They have to be. They already made the NLCS, and then they added Juan Soto. Yes, they lost Severino. That's a big deal. We're not going to pretend it's not because he was very clutch in the playoffs for them. But Juan Soto was just equally, if not better, and more important to the Yankees and their distance in the playoffs. So the fact that they get to have him and he's still so young, it's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And not even the amount for the contract, but the length is the most mind-blowing part. 15 years for that number. But I got to give props to the Knicks front office or the Mets front office. They literally were like, we want this guy, and we think and almost even know he wants to be here.
Right.
So they made it happen. And if you're a Mets fan, I don't know how you're not stoked, to be honest, because you have all the players you could really dream of.
That's true.
Lindor's been great. Pete Alonso's the man. Obviously, he is a free agent right now, so you do have to re-sign him. But given the Soto signing, I think he would want more than anything to stay because why wouldn't you? It just makes sense to stay now. So, yeah, this was a big deal. And I hope everybody really appreciates the weight that this carries for Major League Baseball.
When I saw it, I was like you said, I was a little disappointed that the Phillies didn't go a little harder after him. However, I'm also okay with not spending that money
Amen.
when they have spent touchdown Jamar Chase, by the way.
Fuck yeah.
When they have spent all that money on pretty much everybody else. And obviously,
Yeah.
the Phillies are still looking at the trade market with Alec Bohm. They've even looked in the trade market with Castellanos, and I hope Casty stays.
I do too. I think Bohm can go. I think Castellanos, based purely on if you average all 3 postseasons together, it's clear his value when the games matter is higher.
Oh yeah, and in the locker room.
Yeah,
To be completely honest,
because Bohm, as much as I want to believe, yes, he could turn out, yes, he could grow up. He does not show me the level of maturity and growth that I need to see from somebody to believe that, yes, in the future they could be a franchise cornerstone. Because in baseball, it matters almost more than any other sport to have that one guy that you can build around, and not even like build around, but rely on in the lineup on a day-to-day basis. He hit 077 in the postseason. That just like the bluntest thing I could say is like that is ass.
oh yeah,
There's no excusing it either. Considering his regular season numbers, there's zero reason that he ever should have or could have been that bad. No one thought it was possible that he was going to be the guy to disappear, but he was. And
right.
if the Phillies are able to find a trade partner that is interested in him for a good return, I am here for it. And I know that's a hot take because there's a lot of Phillies fans that absolutely like they want to refuse. They don't believe that he should be traded. There's no reason to get him, like let him loose. I think there's plenty of reasons. And I'm not going to be a naive fan and just stick to a guy when he hasn't given me what I need him to give me. So, yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of people on the Phillies team that I have, grown a connection with as a fan because of how cool that this team has been and how just like they feel like hanging out with the boys. Like that's just how this team feels. And so obviously you don't want to see a lot of them go, but yeah, you just have to be a realist and be like, yeah, if you're going to get the value for someone, you might as well get the value for Bohm and be able to get like a multitude of, whether it's a really, really good relief pitcher or whether it's a couple pieces, including a relief pitcher and something else, something along those lines. You just got to go get it if it presents itself. So,
Exactly.
I will say real quick, an interesting thing that they just showed on the game. Cade York, who is kicking tonight for the Bengals, he kicked an extra point, barely made it, and then there was a flag for delay of game, so he had to redo it, and he made the second one as well. And they cut to a Cowboys cheerleader, and you could see her mouth, "Oh, thank God." And I was like, wait, what? And then it came up on the bottom that she's dating Cade York.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, wait a second. Because wasn't Cade York's last kicking job in Cleveland?
I think so.
But he's dating a Cowboys cheerleader? And now he's in Cincinnati?
Let's look up his
career
path.
Props to him. But that's
maybe they went to the same college and then somehow he has like gotten the loyalty. Yeah.
That's true.
He's 0 for 2 on field goals in the NFL, which is pretty sad. So he should probably step it the fuck up. But yeah, I mean, if his pipe game's strong, I guess he'll stay. But his kicking game at the moment, minus the extra point he just made, it's quite weak. So
yeah,
bummer. I'm expecting tonight's game to be like 50-50, but we'll see.
Oh, I agree.
Just no defense at all.
As long as Rico Dowdle gets me a touchdown, I'm fine with whatever score it is. Which brings us to our Week 14 reactions. This week was not great to us pick wise, I will say.
I agree.
We were both 6-6.
Yeah, there was a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of BS.
I was very close to calling that.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
I was very close to calling that Carolina Panthers trap game. By the way.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanted to point that out.
I mean, if we just want to get this out of the way, I don't think AJ said or did anything wrong.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that now. That's fine.
They asked him. They point blank asked him what went wrong this week, and he said the passing game. And if you just look at the numbers, like I do, like a logical person, that is the correct answer. If the passing game had been more fluent, if it had been more clean, this game would not have been close. And the truth is, it was not. Obviously, Saquon had himself yet another good day. But you look at Hurts's numbers, and obviously they're not good. So
right.
There's a lot to take from that if you want. He was 14-21, which is 66%, which overall is not that horrible. His QB rating was good. He had 2 passing TDs, but the yardage is what was low. So
right.
The way I look at it is you get Devontae back, but you lose Goddard. So your game plan gets fucked kind of at the last minute because the Goddard was not declared out until I think Saturday, which obviously sucks. I'm not going to even sit here and pretend that they would have put up like way more than that had he been declared earlier. But they need to have their full offense on the field with a full week of prep first. And all credit to Carolina. And Jalen said this in his post game. Jalen said, I played bad. Carolina played well. And Carolina has been playing well. So when I looked at this game coming up, I took the Eagles just because I love them. And I'm like, yes, I think this will be close. However, I think the Eagles will win.
Right.
But I had that gut feeling it would be close because Carolina took the Bucs to OT. They took the Chiefs to OT. Bryce Young, since coming back off the bench, has been playing with a happiness and joy level that you and I have both agreed we absolutely love to see. And he still is, and it's great. He's playing his ass off. He's doing his best to win games for his team, and I will do nothing but commend that. And the Panthers. Not as much the front office or the owners, but the players on the field that really do want this. So they play great, and I won't take one thing away from them and like act like, oh, the Eagles dominated. They didn't. The Panthers players showed up today and did a good job. Like they did. Agreed. They really did. So
agree. And for those wondering, this is I just wanted to play AJ Brown's bit of his post game here.
Yeah.
Good enough. What are some things you think that the offense needs to improve on? Passing.
AJ, I know everybody wants to get in a rhythm. And Devontae was acknowledging that, receivers, just like running backs, want to get in rhythm. How hard is it as a receiver to get into a rhythm when you guys are only throwing the ball like 20 times?
Incredibly tough.
It seemed like there was a moment on the sideline when you threw your helmet into the bench. What prompted that?
This is the Philly media in general to me.
3 and out.
Oh, yeah.
As a leader on this offense, what's kind of your approach this week in changing the result in terms of everyone, and not just you, a lot of the players on offense saying that this was just not up to the offensive standard?
When I hear down, I just want to work. Doing the things we're doing and learning and growing.
Let me know when it's done.
What are the conversations like with Jalen during a game like this where maybe the passing game isn't everything you want it to be?
Not too much conversation, honestly. But I don't know.
Here's all I have to say is they're asking this guy immediately after the game. Like he's literally taken his uniform off and showered. So like none of these answers are created with like real thought or like deep thought. They're just in the moment. And that's what the Philly media does. They're like, let me just get a fucking soundbite to jump on it and turn it into drama. And even just the comments I've seen, like people calling AJ a diva. It's like, the passing game was the problem, and that's what he said, which is literally truth.
Yeah, you can look at the box score and see it.
Like, it's not hard to figure out that is the issue that made this game close.
Exactly.
But Eagles media and Eagles fans, I hate that. This is like the part of being an Eagles fan that I hate is a lot of our fans are literally like 3 IQ fucking idiots, and they just immediately like Trump supporters even. Sorry for the politicalness, but they literally hear a thing and they're like, I'm a sheep now, and they just go for it and fully send it, and there we are. So it's tough because I fully appreciate AJ's honesty, and I'm kind of on his side because if the offense was doing what we know it's capable of, this game shouldn't have been close.
Right.
And that's, you know what I mean? That's kind of just that's how it is. And obviously, like, they need to have, and Jalen, AJ, these guys are the type to literally be like, let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
As much as the cameras want to believe they're not, like, they will have these conversations one-on-one and try to discuss how to get better, because AJ came to Philly because Jalen Hurts is literally his like real life off-field best friend. Why would they not try to improve? So, yeah.
And it's like, you can see, obviously, the run game is perfectly fine because Saquon just broke the single season record for in franchise history. So,
shout out to Shane.
Yes. And so it's like, there's obviously an answer to what isn't going well. If the running back is breaking records, then there's obviously one side that's not doing as well. And when you look at the box score, Bryce Young had 191 yards and was sacked once. Jalen Hurts had 108 and was sacked 4 times.
And
so, like,
and shout out Bryce Young too, though, because like, yes, he only got tackled once, but the amount of pressures on that man.
Oh yeah,
he was putting in work. His legs were moving. He was getting some throws off on the run. Interception Bengals.
I just saw that. That was a crazy interception too. Bounced around like 3 times.
That was a Lamar quality interception there.
Of course, it was by Geno Stone too.
Goes against the fucking. Oh, he's been so bad this year. I have to be fully honest.
Oh, he has, but
he's like
at least has a knack for interceptions.
One of the lowest graded safeties in the entire league this year. Oh, they might not even count. Let's see if he had control of that, they keep it. If he didn't, that
was close.
It didn't move, but it was also ugly. You know what I mean? Like, because he stopped, because he didn't try to get up.
Right. The nose of the football was so close to the ground.
But they're just going to be like, did it move at all differently when he appeared to catch it and then when it hit the ground?
Right.
Oh boy. But the rest of the league had a lot of just interesting BS this week.
I just wanted to bring this up real quick too.
Fire away.
This is in the last 5 games, Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud. For those that might not be watching, in the last 5 games, Bryce Young has 1,082 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, sacked 7 times. CJ Stroud in his last 5 games has 1,169 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and sacked 19 times. So,
oh boy,
I gotta give it up to Bryce Young and the Panthers' offensive line and offense in general. Adam Thielen is still playing like he can win a Super Bowl every game.
I fucking love Adam Thielen, man. You and I both
awesome.
You and I both agree on that. It's just like,
exactly,
you can't hate the guy. But this is a wild kind of turn of events, right? I mean, obviously the sophomore slump is a thing that is discussed in pretty much any sport.
Oh yeah.
But it is really happening to CJ Stroud. And it's clear too. Like, they started so hot. We had them so high in our power rankings. We were like so sure on them. And I don't know, man. I like Bryce Young. Obviously, we knew he had potential. And you and I like always said, like, yeah, it's the Panthers organization that just kind of, they've let everybody down for a long time now. And yeah, it's just like, that's why we love seeing Bryce Young succeed. I know that the team is not winning, but it is not to be blamed on Bryce Young now, and it's clear. And
Right.
he's out there. I love the picture they chose in that little graphic you showed. Obviously, he's smiling his ass off. Like, it just,
Oh,
when
yeah.
the fact that he's able to play with a smile on his face makes you and I both happy, because he's a good dude, and all the hate he was getting was just clearly not deserved.
He looks like he's having fun again, which is it's the biggest thing in any sport. If
Yeah.
you hit a slump, you start to not have fun. The moment you don't have fun anymore, it becomes it becomes like real work and a real slog to get through. And then it
Exactly.
just is like that whole big spiral. But then the moment you find that joy again and you find that fun again, normally you start skyrocketing back it up. That's why it's so fun to usually watch, like, in my point of view, Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain, because those two
Yeah.
guys smile literally the entire game long.
And that's why you and I have said, if they were to ever move on from Embiid, it's like they're not in that bad of a spot, because they can build around these two guys. And the vibes are so good. So
Exactly.
and that is just that's just how it is. So looking at the NFC, it becomes a little interesting now, because, like, coming into this week, there were the debates going on, like, who's the best team in the NFC? Is it the Eagles or the Lions? Both of them had games that were very interesting. So, like, obviously the Lions had to fend off Green Bay again, and it took their full effort. And then the Eagles, like, as much as you want to judge Carolina, I was fully going into this week expecting this game to be close, because they've played everybody close, and they weren't playing bad teams. They were playing good teams. So it's more of a credit to Carolina for playing well the last, like, month than it is the Eagles playing bad. Like, the defense still stepped up when it needed to. Obviously, Slay had that huge pass to, like, defense on that last drive for the Panthers. So yeah, I look at that is the 1-2 still at the moment, based on how they've played, who they've played, everything.
Oh,
Obviously, like, the Eagles beat the Packers, so is Green Bay. So you can't even look at that and be like, oh, it's, yeah, you know what I mean? The opponent diff is not there.
They both have some interesting matchups this coming week too, because obviously the Eagles are hosting the Steelers, and then the Lions are hosting Buffalo.
And Buffalo has to be feeling some type of way after this week. Like, you literally have Josh Allen be the first quarterback in NFL history to have 3 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns with no turnovers in a game, and they lost, which is insanity.
Not just that, but to the Rams.
Yeah. But it is literally a case of, like, we know what the Rams have if they just put it together game to game.
Right.
And they put it together flawlessly. Like, we've been kind of waiting for this from LA. But we didn't expect it against Buffalo.
Exactly.
Necessarily. And the fact that's the team they decided to just go, 44 points against, and like, Buffalo scores 42 and they lose. It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like just because Stafford's aging, people forget that the Rams do have one of the best receiving cores and one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Kyren Williams is a goddamn monster, man.
He's a beast. And then you got Blake Corum as a rookie as the backup. Like, Corum's nothing to sneeze at either. So
strong as shit. But it's like, I don't understand if Buffalo's defense overlooked them.
Right.
It blows my mind. It's like, you have a Super Bowl winning QB, a guy, in my opinion, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, Matthew Stafford literally has to be in the Hall of Fame. He has to. Yeah. There's no way he's not. And then, like, Kyren Williams has found the end zone in all but, I think, 3 games out of this entire season. Puka's fully healthy. Cooper Kupp's fully healthy. DeMarcus Robinson came into this game fully healthy as wide receiver 3. I think you hurt his shoulder. But it is literally just like, how do you imagine that they're not going to be able to do this to you if you take it lightly? Like, Stafford is a killer. He's a killer on the field. And if at the moment he finds a weakness, he is so good he will exploit that all game. It doesn't matter. And Buffalo got exploited. And obviously, like every team's winning streak has to come to an end. It's just a matter of when.
Right.
Obviously, I'm looking at the Eagles. I'm like, all right, if you're going to lose the winning streak, lose it now and then get another one. Buffalo had one, obviously kind of rolling. They've just been playing well overall. Yep. That was a really great fourth down try by the Bengals there. Wow, I'm really impressed by that. Oh, fuck.
I was thinking the same
Jesus.
thing.
Fucking
By
Zach
the way-
Taylor firing coming soon to a webpage near you.
I just wanted to say, people do also forget that Stafford fired off 7 seasons in a row with at least 4,000 passing yards, one of those being over 5,000, and has 9 seasons of at least 4,000 passing yards in total. And he's currently 700 yards away from 4,000 yards this season with 4 more games to go, which plausibly he could do it.
I think he can do it. I think he missed so many games without his top guys that now that he has them,
Exactly.
he's playing with so much more ease and comfort. It makes sense that he would just absolutely get it.
And he only needs 650 yards to get to 60,000 in his career.
He is legitimately a dude that if he just decides to play long enough, he'll have the record. He'll have it. And I would love it for him too, because you think about it, it's like he spent so many years with the Lions before they had a good front office, before they were well coached, and before they knew how to actually build a full team. And I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine if the Lions were building the way they're doing now the whole time he was there? I mean,
crazy
insanity. So, and it's good for, obviously it's been good for both franchises. The Lions now are the best they've ever been in franchise history, literally. And then the Rams after the trade have won a Super Bowl. So it's worked out. It's one of those rare trades where you can see the value on both sides. Right. But yeah, any Stafford haters, I just don't understand, because I'm like, the guy had to endure that for so long, and Calvin Johnson's already in the goddamn Hall of Fame. And if he had not had a quarterback like Stafford, he would not be there, period. So,
especially in Detroit.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. It's like they could have somehow wasted one of, if not the, arguably for a lot of people, best receiver ever. Like he was such a freak and good at everything that, imagine his career got wasted because they had just horrible QB play the whole time. Just sick, sad to think about. So,
speaking of horrible QB play, the Jaguars and Titans really ended their game 10-6.
Oh boy.
That game and the Saints-Giants game made me want to rip my eyes out of my head.
The Giants missing that field goal at the end literally was just the most Giants shit I've ever seen.
Oh, 1,000%.
You get it, you drive down into range, you can tie it, force OT at home, and you fucking miss. Because of course you do. We wouldn't expect anything better from you, but cool. I mean, and then just looking at the Titans Jags, it's the Titans' one good quality this entire year has been their defense. And obviously they showed up. Jags had 10 points. Defense did their job. And I'm looking at Will Levis how are you not doing better against this fucking Jags defense? How on earth are you not doing better? And then I'm just oh yeah, it's Will Levis. He is literally trash. He is so bad at football.
So bad.
It is unbelievable. And I just look at the Titans. I'm like, you traded AJ Brown. You let Derrick Henry go. You fired your coach, who was literally fine. He was literally fine. Under his coaching, you had a number 1 seed in the AFC. There was no reason to fire him, but you did it. And this is what you get. These are the rewards you reap for making stupid decisions And the final straw, the final bad decision was letting Malik Willis go. It just made no sense. He goes to Green Bay. He has better coaching. He has to sub in for Jordan Love, and he wins games. And no one was really surprised by it that much because you're like, there was obviously potential, and he finally had the right things around him, the right locker room, and here you are. And I just look at the Titans. I'm like, karma is a real thing, man. And you know what? You get to reap what you sow. Please enjoy a really lost season. And the crazy truth is the way the Texans have been playing recently, if the Titans had actually not made all these mistakes, they'd probably be winning the division. Like,
Probably.
because the only signings that were good were defensive. We agreed on that. Like Snead, Awuzie, like that side of the ball, they made pretty good calls.
And to be fair, one of their signings that were highly scrutinized was Tony Pollard. He only needs 70 yards to have another 1,000-yard season. Like, Tony Pollard's actually been very good, but like his season's getting lost because the team can't do anything else. And it's like
he's been good.
Yeah. And it's like no quarterback is going to do well in a system if they are young and you don't allow them to make mistakes, which is what happened with Malik Willis. The moment he started making mistakes, they yanked him. And it's like, if you don't have the freedom to make mistakes and experiment and try to better your game, then like you don't have the comfort of actually trying to improve. That never works with basketball when you have rookies coming in at point guard, especially. And it doesn't work with quarterbacks. It doesn't work with really any position if you have the threat of getting pulled out of the game the moment you make the first mistake. It's stupid, and it's never going to be something that helps people learn. But that brings me to a couple of the other games this week that I thought were kind of interesting. Seattle, Arizona. I mean, I say interesting, but like I also expected Arizona to lose that game because anytime Arizona is in some sort of like must-win game or big situation, they always come up short. Kyler Murray looked okay at times, but 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He did put 259 yards up in the passing game. Didn't do much on the ground in this one. But it still surprises me that like when it comes to his receivers, he's not really like hitting his top guys all the time. Trey McBride is always going to be there. He's been the steadying force, I should say. But when it comes to the wide receivers, you never know which wide receiver is going to actually have a good game. And that even though sometimes that could be the sign of like a good quarterback because they spread the ball that much, in this case, it's just a sign of you're not playing to strengths. So your strongest receivers aren't getting the fucking ball. Why are like Michael Wilson actually had a solid game. He got that one big touchdown and you only targeted him one more time after that the entire game. Insane. Marvin Harrison finally got 8 targets, but like 4 receptions for 49 yards because most of the time he's not getting the targets down the field.
Yep.
It's and the thing that kills me too is a lot of the times he's targeting Marvin Harrison is like, oh, he's double covered in the end zone. Let me just throw it up and hope he catches it. Instead of like 5 plays prior, oh, he's wide open streaking down the sideline. Let me hit him in stride and score a touchdown. Like, I just don't understand it. But Seattle, shout out to them because they had a solid game. Charbonnet was a fucking beast with 134 yards and 2 touchdowns in relief of Ken Walker there since he was hurt. Jackson Smith-Njigba fucking blowing up on the scene this year. He almost has 1,000 yards. He has 5 touchdowns. He even broke the top, I believe it was top 6 or 7 in terms of fantasy wide receivers in PPR leagues. So that's something that nobody expected like this season. They expected it at some point out of Jackson Smith-Njigba, especially with his college tape and everything. But this season, I don't think many people really expected that out of him. So I'm glad he's finally out there balling and really becoming like the number 2, even number 1 receiver out there sometimes for Geno.
I
Because
think he is. I think he is the number 1.
it feels like it because DK's been disappointing the last couple games.
Because I think like Njigba's routes and his just football IQ are higher, and then
Right.
DK's routes are usually just kind of like burner, or he'll do like a quick cut to the inside and then try to put on speed to be open, but they're not that creative. Obviously, like if you get him the ball, his physicality will allow him to probably gain more yards than expected. But yeah, I mean, just Njigba seems to be the most intelligent of the receivers in terms of just kind of like the fakes he does, the routes he runs, the little like, I guess, if you call it this, like in play audibles he calls on his routes. And then Geno isn't too quick to make a throw. He'll let the routes kind of progress to a point where when he does make a throw, his guys are open. But we've seen obviously this year where he wasn't doing that, and obviously he was just throwing interception after interception, and getting tons of criticism. So it's been an interesting division, obviously for a lot of reasons. But I think Seattle they are at a point right now where if they just want to win it, they can. Like they have it, they're in the lead by themselves, and they need to clamp it the fuck down.
Oh yeah.
But Arizona, like, I mean, you and I have agreed they're literally the team that just pisses us off the most, because we're like, you have talent and you don't know how to use it. So
yeah, like they have so many pieces. Anybody would love to have Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, James Conner, even Trey Benson.
Yeah.
Like, and on top of that, they have some good defensive talent too. Not saying their defense is amazing. That's usually one of their weaker parts, especially last season.
But they've
like,
overperformed this year.
Right.
So, and they're wasting it because their defense was supposed to be shit and everybody thought it was going to be shit. But they, for a number of weeks, even in games they lost, were putting up good sack numbers, a good amount of pressures, good amount of pass breakups. Like they were stepping up the way you want your players to step up, and it was not getting respected. Of course, fucking ESPN has a Joe Burrow graphic where they have the goddamn Batmobile because on Hard Knocks he said he bought one. Oh, of course they do. Anyway, hilarious.
But like, I will say, looking at, let's see, total defense for yards given up per game, Arizona is actually right around middle of the pack, giving up 340.5 yards per game. Defenses worse than them include Patriots, Browns, Ravens, Falcons, Bears even give up more yards. Cowboys, Rams, Bucks, Bengals, Colts, Saints, Panthers, Jaguars. All of them are worse than the Cardinals defense this season. And they're just not doing anything because the offense just can't fucking capitalize on really anything,
Ever.
let alone using their weapons. And you have people like Cam Newton making videos about how Kyler Murray is just not doing his fucking job. So
and it's so funny too, because like he's right. And we
Exactly.
talked about it last week, and it's so clear that he's just correct, because at this point, I don't know who else you could like blame ever. And it is unfortunate, right? If you're Arizona, it's like obviously you spent a very high pick on Kyler. I think they have the wrong coaching. I will always say that. I think when they hired Jonathan Gannon, I was like, well, that's a mistake, because the dude fucking sucked shit at like coordinating the defense against the Chiefs in the fucking Super Bowl. But if you want him, have him, because sure. But yeah, they have a lot of work to do when they really shouldn't have a lot of work to do, if that makes sense. Like they should be in like a much better place, but they're not. And yeah, I don't know where they go, like, because they've had a good enough season that their pick is not going to be that high unless they just absolutely shit the bed these last handful of weeks. Right. So it's like if you want to move on from Kyler, if like that's the thinking inside the front office, that's going to be harder to do now. If you don't, you're probably going to miss the top 2 like offensive linemen taken. So that sucks. Like you could probably get an edge guy if you really want that. Chase Brown with a nice fucking burst. Did he make it into the end zone on that?
He was really close.
He jumped in the goddamn Salvation Army bucket, so a flag is probably coming here. However, yeah. Are they declaring? Are you calling him out at like the fucking inch line? Is that what's happening?
He seems extra surprised.
I want to see this angle because he's not out. That's not out. He's in, bro. He's in.
He's in.
That step on the 3
They better
was
challenge
not
that
out
right now.
That is
foot
not
was
out.
so close to being out, but there
you can
is
see green
in between.
You can see the green.
Damn.
Around his entire. I love Chase Brown, man.
The speed on that play is insane.
You know what's crazy to me? Like, first off, you're identical twins with another player who also decided my dream is the NFL. And you both made it on opposite sides of the ball, which is also insane. Obviously, Sidney Brown of the Eagles is a little bit injured right now, but he's been mainly on special teams because obviously the Eagles at safety are, for once, and like since Dawkins for the first time, they're pretty good. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, Chase Brown's a unit, and the Bengals should be very glad he was already on the roster because Zach Moss got hurt. It was kind of a blessing, even though they still can't win games.
Yeah, they just showed a stat that said the Bengals, when scoring 30 plus, are 2-4, and the rest of the NFL is 85-6.
Yep. I mean, tell me your defense is bad without actually. Just saying it. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah,
the last.
Go ahead.
The last week 14 thing I just wanted to bring up is the fucking Kansas City Chiefs.
Doink for the division.
I don't understand how they keep getting away with this bullshit.
You want the answer? Do you want the easiest answer in history? You ready?
I mean,
Ladd McConkey was inactive. There you go.
That's true.
Period. End of story. Ladd McConkey plays in that fucking game.
Yeah,
no chance in fuck. And then Will Dissly gets hurt before half. So you're down 2 of your top 4 targeted guys. Just like that. Because of course Will Dissly, of course he gets hurt against the Chiefs. Of course he's healthy literally until the Chiefs game. Because the Chiefs have a leprechaun. They have butt plugs shaped like leprechauns in their asses every fucking game, and I'm sick of it. I want to see them make the playoffs. They've already won the division. They're going to be on this all-time high, and I want to see them get absolutely ass-rammed. I need it so bad. I don't care who it is. I don't care.
It's so funny, too, because, so I was listening to the Fantasy Footballers podcast, and I completely agreed with what they had to say about the whole Chiefs thing is, they actually had it's been such a heel turn for the Chiefs because a lot of us NFL fans in general loved watching the Chiefs because they were doing cool shit. Patrick Mahomes was doing no-look passes and behind-the-back passes. They were doing that weird trick play where they ran in a circle and then all of a sudden did some crazy shit. They did all this stuff and it was cool. It was exciting and it was fun. But now they're not fun to watch. They're just not. The Patrick Mahomes is having statistically one of his worst seasons, and
they're still winning, and it pisses me off.
Exactly. And now you're seeing all these clips that all these penalties either are not called on them or are called on the other team, and those calls aren't happening in any other game across the whole league. Not just these calls are happening just for the best teams. No, they're not happening for anybody else. And it just happens to go their way in 5 to 6 different games at the end of the game.
And that's the biggest thing you and I have said is when the calls are happening.
Exactly.
If it was like early in the game and the score is tied, you're like, all right, whatever. There's so much time left. Like, obviously, that the impact is negligible because the team could overcome that. But because it's always late when it means the most, because there's no time left, like
Exactly.
it's so frustrating because you just sit here and go like I was watching that game on my iPad, and I remember saying to myself, because I talk to myself a lot, I'm like, I'm watching this game and I know the result. I just know it doesn't matter that the Chargers are up 17-16 right now. It is irrelevant that is the score. And like, of course, the fucking field goal goes off the post and in and not off the post and out. Like, that is literally the luck they've had this season. And I don't want to hear one motherfucker say that they are literally good. I don't want to hear it. If they like, Buffalo beat them. Buffalo was the one team on their schedule when we looked at it. Like, once we started really paying attention, like, who could they lose to? We were like, Buffalo, and Buffalo beat them. And we were like, yep, okay, there it is. And now I'm sitting here going, if the like, obviously the Eagles had their passing game woes this week, but usually they do and the truth is, when you do enough and win and you're more penalized, I will credit you as the better team. And the Eagles have been more penalized. Period. And they find a way to make it happen.
Right.
No matter who the opponent is. And obviously, and like, if anybody's going to say, oh, it's Carolina, it's like, well, the Chiefs only beat them by 3. The Eagles beat them by 6. So how about we calm down? And we beat them in regulation. Chiefs took overtime. So let's chill out. What's up, Shaq? Welcome back, my guy.
What's up, Shaq? What's going on, man?
It frustrates me because you and I both think, and I almost even know, the Chargers fully, when healthy, are a team that could whip the fucking shit out of the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
If you have Ladd McConkey on that field, he's going to give you like 7 catches. That's obviously a lot of yards. Will Dissly stays healthy throughout the game. He's going to give you about 5. Credit to Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnson. They played better than they have this year to keep them in this game. Obviously, Quentin is known for his drops. He had a couple, but he did catch a lot of very important passes. And if J.K. Dobbins was healthy, like, it literally is.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. Like, there's so many things that literally, like, the Chiefs literally somehow, like, their whole schedule, every single fucking game, crucial players on the opposing team are out. The refs are fully on their side. And if you say they're not, fuck you, because they just are. It sucks. And exactly. I literally want to see them draw a crew that hates them in the playoffs and a team that is good enough to beat them without that help. Like, it needs to happen because they are frauds. And I will stand on this rock and yell to the world that the Chiefs are frauds.
Yep.
And it's
Shaq
so clear.
Says, agreed, won by a doink. You can't make this shit up. It's true, like, you can't. And
you literally can't.
The way that the game ended against the Raiders is so egregiously stupid. Like, that entire thing made 0 sense. And I don't care what anyone says. There's not a way to describe it to me to make it make sense.
Exactly.
Other than the Chiefs are paying the refs. That's the only thing I would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
No, because literally we're looking at it, right? If an offsides is called, that is a pre-snap flag. Anything that happens after the snap is not relevant. Period. End of story. Literally end of story. If you say anything else, you're a fucking idiot. And the refs randomly decided, yeah, no, actually, they can just have the ball. Like, that's literally what happened. And it made no sense because I was at work and we had probably 30 people sat at the bar that were looking up this game that they don't really care about because they're all Eagles fans. And all of them were still like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it just, like, they've been spoon-fed so much shit. And I don't get it. Like, the only person I look at and I'm like, I can't blame you, is Andy Reid. That's it. He's the only guy who's safe from my anger because I love Andy. He's over there just trying to do his best at what he can control. But even during the fucking game, I saw, like, Mahomes made his first good pass in like 10 minutes of clock time, and he's sitting there like nodding like this, like, yeah, I'm God. I'm like, bro, let me just pull up your stat sheet real quick and consult. Oh, actually, you've been really shit. Let's stop pretending. Like, maybe if you stop doing State Farm commercials, you might actually be like way more capable of the shit we've seen in the past. But at the moment, shut up. It's not
But
great.
also, it's like,
Pull up the Shaq comment because he just nailed it.
oh yeah,
He literally nailed it. So
Shaq
perfect.
says all these analysts saying they find ways to win, get out of here. Botch snap, flags, and bailouts are not finding ways to win. Kansas City should have 8 losses. Yeah, it's so true. It's crazy that like a lot of these like as Shaq is saying, a lot of these finding ways to win. It's like, no, they didn't make the winning play. It happened to them. Like, they're not the ones pulling something out of their ass and making this big Hail Mary. Amen. They're getting like the Bengals game, like that pass interference, whatever that was. Then the Falcons game, the non-pass interference. Like
the Ravens. I mean, literally, Isaiah's.
Oh,
literally, that's what I mean. Like, there's only so much we can take, right? Like, anybody who says sports aren't luck, because there are people that exist that literally say sports are not luck, and I literally look at them, I'm like, you're fucking delusional, and that just tells me you do not watch enough, and you like, or even better, like they only watch their home team, and they don't understand what's happening around the league. Like the Chiefs at this point, they are going to run into somebody at some point. And if it's not the Eagles in the Super Bowl, if it's the Lions in the Super Bowl, it'll be before that. Like, one of these teams that they've played in the regular season will be waiting for them in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
and they will be fucking ready. Like, if it was Dobbins,
I so hope it's the Ravens.
True. So do I, because they deserve revenge. But like, even the Chargers too, because obviously divisional, it's like they've been beaten down enough by this franchise for so long now.
And Shaq says Buffalo already killed them. Agreed.
Exactly. But that's what I'm looking at, Shaq, is literally like, that was the one game where stupid like bullshit didn't occur, and it couldn't occur because Buffalo controlled the shit. But like, it was Dobbins' injury seasonal? Like, was it a whole, or could he be back?
I think he's supposed to be back at some point.
Okay. But that's massive, right? Like, say the obviously, in my opinion, the Chargers are a shoo-in for the playoffs, regardless of anything. So
he was placed on injured reserve like a little over a week ago. So,
okay, so he's got 2 more games to miss.
Yeah, I think so.
If you include the Chiefs as one of the first 2. I'll say he's ready, right? And you have McConkey back, and they're all healthy, and Disley too. Like, say they're all healthy.
Yep.
I do not think the Chiefs beat them again. I don't care where the game's played. I don't. There's been many players to say this, and I always appreciated it because I fully understand it. Beating a team 2 times in the like regular season isn't easy, but it's doable. Beating a team 3 times is really fucking hard.
Yep.
And like, obviously the Eagles had this situation in 2022. They had to play the Giants in the playoffs. It's Daniel fucking Jones.
Right.
This is Justin goddamn Herbert. I know Mahomes is who he is. Beat him 3 times in one season, then we'll talk. When he has everything he's supposed to have. Like, for a game to be that close when he was down his top 2 weapons on offense, and it's not even debatable there was top 2. There's top 2 by a mile. Like,
oh yeah.
That says everything I need to know. And Mahomes got sacked a ton. And of course, his bitch ass is on a State Farm commercial right in front of me on my iPad right now. Andy, love you. Patrick, fuck you. Your wife is annoying. Really wish you weren't high school sweetheart. All right, cool.
And the Raiders game, he got outplayed by Aiden O'Connell,
who just literally got hurt. But if he didn't get hurt, he was going to get benched for Desmond Ridder because he was playing like fucking ass. against the
Exactly.
Bucks, whose defense is also injury ridden and not even that good. So it's just
And-
crazy.
And even the Raiders weren't healthy. Their 2 starting running backs were Sincere McCormick and Amir Abdullah.
Shaq, I fully agree. Either Harbaugh has to get the job done.
Agreed.
Fully. Because it's not even like a case
Completely
of coaching battle, right? Because we know Andy is who Andy is. It's just literally the Chiefs have not been who we thought they could be. They have some injuries, but it's not even that relevant to me. Like, I don't care. You have, like, the only person you're missing now really is Hollywood. And I'm not going to sit here and go like, yeah, that would make their offense unbeatable. It wouldn't. He's been on 3 teams now, including the Chiefs. And that tells me that he's not that good because he's still young. So,
and he has a case of the drops.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And even like, what does Hollywood bring to the Chiefs that they don't already have? Like, you have a deep threat in Xavier Worthy. You have possession guy who with hands of just fucking God and DeAndre Hopkins. You have Kelsey, who's the reliable safety net. Pacheco can catch out of the backfield. Hunt can just run. Yeah. Like Juju randomly has games where he's like relevant.
The thing that kills me is that when Hollywood comes back, he's gonna win a game on some stupid touchdown play.
Yeah,
it'll
be PI in the end zone when he was the one thrown to, and it wasn't PI, but they'll get it, and then they'll just be like, "Here, Kareem Hunt, you're thick as shit. Let's just run you straight forward. Here you go."
It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be so annoying. Oh my God!
No, but this is what's lovely, and I know this is what's beautiful. You and I will have a moment on this podcast when the playoffs arrive where we get to sit here and be joyful after they've lost, because I'm sorry, it's gonna fucking happen. If you are a Chiefs fan who watches this VOD, go ahead and comment something hateful. I will read it and laugh at you because I don't know you in real life. B, because I don't give a fuck about your stupid opinion. Your team is not that good. I don't give a shit what your record is. The Eagles were 10-2 last year, and they got hated by everybody saying they're not that good, and then they lost a fuck ton of games and proved everybody right. The Chiefs will do that. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. Get ready. You have your rings. Your team has your rings. All the players you love and the coaches you love have their rings, and they can go ahead and fuck off now.
Yep. And Shaq says, I will say their offense looked a tad better on offense with Rashee Rice before he went out, but it wasn't this groundbreaking thing. Yeah, Rashee Rice is a big loss. I will give them that. Rashee Rice is a very, very good wide receiver. However, that's another thing. He probably should have been suspended.
Yep.
And
exactly. Like, I was going to say the same fucking thing. He should have he should literally have not even been on the field for the first like 4 weeks because he fucking did all that shit in the offseason. And all we heard in the offseason was Chiefs player arrested, Chiefs player drunk driving, Chiefs player said this shit at a Catholic college, Chiefs player did this shit. Like, it would, all the negative publicity wouldn't end. So of course they're winning now. It's just insane.
Exactly.
Like, I'm so sick of fucking seeing Kansas City Chiefs player, Kansas City Chiefs win. I'm sick of it. It's literally like, I would have felt this way if I was old enough when it was 2001, 2, 3, and 4 with Tom Brady. I would have literally been throwing up, just ill at how annoying it is. And
I will say it feels very similar as a Ravens fan when like they face the Patriots postseason again, lose to Tom Brady, can't get through that whole hitch, and then they finally beat him. They beat Peyton Manning and they make it to the Super Bowl and win. So I'm hoping that's the same formula they have going on here. They face Patrick Mahomes multiple times. They face Josh Allen once, they face all these other people, and then they finally break through. We'll see if that is actually the case, but I'm praying.
Same. I'm praying hard as fuck because it is so irritating. Like, much, the only people that want a dynasty are the people who are fans of that one team. The other 30 plus teams literally are like, kiss my whole ass, and that's where I'm at. So
yep. And another amen moment here from Shaq. It's groundbreaking that Isaiah Rodgers, Philly cornerback, gets suspended for a year for gambling, but someone that gets arrested gets no penalty. League should be investigated. Screw the Chiefs.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Yeah. Roger Goodell's sitting here like this. Here, Shaq, this is for, I'll just make a dumb face. This is Roger Goodell. Here, make me full screen because this is literally what I think of him. I'm just like that's Roger Goodell. Any fucking time I see his dumb ass, he comes out to do the draft and he's like, "Welcome to the 2024 NFL Draft," and everyone's booing, and there's a reason they're booing because no one fucking likes you in the way you run the league. Dumb fuck.
Shaq said nailed it.
So stupid, man.
With that being said, our power rankings.
Titans Epstein Island. There you go.
Oh yeah, they definitely need to go down. They 1,000% need to go down.
Yeah, no lube at all. Their lube supplier has cut them off. They're going in dry. It's probably a branch. They're going to be bleeding. It sucks. Bummer. Yeah.
I have one more. Hold on.
Oh yeah, please. I'm gonna love to see what you type in here.
I'm ready.
Oh, we already have that color.
Do we have teal? Do we like cyan?
We'll just do
I don't think we have cyan.
black.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. The Abyss. Welcome to the Abyss. How you doing?
I just had something in my head too, and then I completely forgot it.
If it doesn't come back, just put the Abyss, and then as soon as you remember it, just edit it.
They made a black color, but they don't even make the font white.
Oh, good. I love that. That's fantastic.
All right, let's do. Do we have this green color?
No, we have no greens or we have one
Purplish. We don't have any blues.
Nice.
All right, go ahead. I mean, both New York teams, man. The Jets lost again too.
That's true. We just keep making new lower ones to keep moving the New York team.
We hate New York if it's not really apparent. We're both from the Philadelphia area. Just New York can literally kiss our ass. And then they sign, and then the fucking Soto goes from the Yankees to the Mets. So it's literally like the Spider-Man meme. They're just pointing at each other. It's like, yeah, we still hate you. Cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. Agreed. Raiders definitely moved down.
Yep. They moved down as well.
Bears,
We got to move the Falcons down.
Yeah, 100%. They suck. They're so bad. They're so bad. I think the Bears can move again.
Up or down?
Not down. Because I just that game against the Niners was that was tough. It was 24-0 at half.
Yeah.
That and against a team that literally is injury pained. Like the Niners have not been having a good year at all. And the Bears still went in there and made them look good. So yeah.
That's true.
And we're just being realistic too, right? Like the teams we have as playoff teams, I still agree with. The Vikings balled out. Darnold had 5 tuds. Packers even in the loss,
Barely
they
lost.
fought the whole fucking game. They are a good team, period.
And then, of course, the Ravens and the Broncos were on bye. The Chargers were a doink away from fucking beating the Chiefs. The Seahawks easily beat the Cardinals. Shakir says the Yanks offered him pretty much the same amount of money. I guess Soto never wants to win again.
I said this earlier, Shaq, because I guess you probably didn't pop in yet. The only team in this century since 2000, obviously, that has not won the World Series in this division is the Mets. This is a move that actually, I think, puts them in a spot to maybe compete. Obviously, they made the World Series in 2015. They just ran into a very good Royals team. But I think the Mets have to, for once, their preseason betting odds might be accurate. Yeah. Unless the Phillies do something crazy or the Braves do something crazy. Because the Braves obviously had a shit ton of injuries, but those are the only 2 teams at the moment that could stop them from a first round bye. So, yeah.
True. So Buccaneers, I'd probably keep them there. Rams, I'd still probably keep them at mid just for now, even though they won that game over Buffalo.
Yeah. Their record is what it is. If they win 2 more straight, we have to move them up because I think at that point they'll be like easily in a wild card position. I know they're hunting for it right now, but we need to actually put them, like, see them string games together.
Agreed. Shaq makes a good point here, by the way. He says New York always seems to disappoint, but I will agree their team is decently loaded. But hey, look at the Jets.
True. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Definitely not wrong about that.
There was a reason the Jets have, like, all right, when we started this shit, we only had 5 categories. Super ass was the lowest. We literally added Diddy's Lube Supplier, Epstein's Island, and the Abyss. And you'll notice they're in the Abyss. So, I mean, I think you know how we feel. So we're in the same, we are in a canoe together. We have 3 oars and we're rowing that shit together. Trust me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, all his facial expressions are memes that give me so much joy. I love it.
Agreed. I would like to move the Patriots down. However, they were on a bye, so I'll give them another week.
I think we leave him because Drake May is, in my eyes, has been a good pick.
True.
And Ramondre's good. They have so much work to do. Obviously, we know that, but and it's so funny too. Think about a team that's like in the midst of rebuilding. They let Jacoby Myers go, and he's been like one of the bright spots for a team that is so bad. But
oh yeah,
like he's been really good for the Raiders, even in losses. He shows up. So like super ass.
Jack says, I think you guys should completely relegate New York off the list entirely.
Just New York doesn't exist, actually. They
these 2 teams aren't even in the NFL anymore.
They're so bad that no one knows they're real. I mean, I don't hate the idea.
I will move Miami up.
Okay. I'm fully on board because to my complete surprise, Tua has been a fucking unit since he came back. And I love that for him too, because I think a part of it is just the motivation to shut people up, stop talking about him, which I love. That's badass in itself, right? Like you have so many people telling you don't play again, and he's like, nah, actually, this is how good I am. I love that. And that was a tough game because obviously the Jets the Jets felt desperate to win, and Miami still said, nah, you're not going to win. And that's fantastic. So.
And Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle looked really good finally. Like Tyreek had 100 yards and a touchdown. Waddle was 1 yard shy of 100 yards.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith has been a huge tight end pickup for them. Devon Achane has been good all year long. Like,
well, it's the first year since he joined Miami that Mostert looks old, like feels old.
True.
Because he's getting hurt a lot, and that. It's to be expected. Like once you hit a certain age and you're a running back, like the physicality will get you.
Exactly.
And that's just, it's not even a knock on Mostert. It's literally just like, you've been doing this for a while. You're an older guy. I love that you give it your all every game, but it's gonna hit you harder. Teams, I'll give San Fran this for at least 1 week. They get to be mid, in my opinion.
Yep.
They get to be mid for a week. They played a really excellent game. And I know it's the Bears, but they'd been going through a lot, and they handled that really easily today, like this week. So, let's see. Arizona. Can we finally ask Arizona, please?
Oh, hell yeah.
Please, because Jesus Christ. Let's see.
Definitely.
Any singular? No. All right. It is finally, in my opinion, it is finally time for an NFC South team to be a playoff team. And I believe Tampa Bay finally can move up to playoff team because I think they're going to win the division now. Mike Evans is healthy. They did not use Bucky enough this week. I don't know what the fuck happened there. They were like, Rachaad White here. I know, but it was literally like even early, like super early. Rachaad White had like the first like 4 carries, and I was like, this is curious. So yeah, that might be like one of those moments where they're like, if Bucky was hurt in practice, maybe you declare it. Thoughts?
I don't know if you saw my name change, but I remembered what I was going to name it.
Excellent. I should just put milk.
Shaq here says, let's take a look at Minnesota. I love Darnold and their team, but I think they're not as good as the record shows. They beat Jacksonville by 6, the Colts by 6, and Arizona by 1. Not knocking them, but ... I mean, I see where you're going with that. Like, definitely, those definitely aren't convincing wins. And I mean,
I have their full slate up right now. I think what I would say, this is the reason we back Minnesota a lot. They lost to the Lions only by 2 in a very funky game. Their loss to the Rams the week after that was a short week, first off. And then on top of that, it was the first week that Stafford had his weapons back. So you had a short week in combination with having a game plan for guys that you didn't really fully know were going to be healthy, and then they were. So, and that's their only 2 losses. And I know I fully get you, like fully understand, like close games, obviously you have to kind of look. They just shit on the Falcons. And I know the Falcons are having their own issues. 21-point win against anybody is a lot in this league.
true.
And then the other key thing I look at too is the way they beat the Texans in week 3. Because week 3, that whole team was healthy and they shit on it. Like, I mean, when I say they shit on them, they shit on them. Like it was an atrocity. I think the only Nico Collins might have been out, and that's actually a big deal. But Diggs was still healthy. They still had Tank Dell. Nope. Nico played that game. He had 86 yards. So, I mean, we're literally looking at that like, okay. As I agree with you from the standpoint of the way we're looking at the Chiefs, but the Vikings have not gotten help from referees or just weird obscurities. They just put wins together by any means necessary. And I will always, and just, we've said this too, like I could not be happier for a guy like Sam Darnold, who got out of a shit situation and gets to finally show what his skill set is with proper players around him and
coaches.
Exactly. Like coaches that appreciate him, want him to grow, want him to succeed, and are willing to do anything to see that through. And he had 5 touchdowns, man. Like, I don't care who you are. Like 5 tuds that's a lot in one fucking game. And the receivers 8, and I like that team is just, the vibes are immaculate, man. Like there's, as much as I see the Chiefs record, I see the Vikings record, I kind of see their margin of victory. I would respect the Vikings way more because all their wins in my eyes were earned. It was final drives. They didn't get assistance by shitty penalties. They made it happen. Whereas every single week, it seems like the Chiefs get a gift that helps them. So
I also think O'Connell doesn't get the credit he deserves as a head coach. Like,
agreed.
You drafted who was supposed to be your starting quarterback. He goes out for the season. You bring in a guy like Sam Darnold, who everyone is like, I don't know about this guy. And now all of a sudden you're 11-2. You've had one of the better offenses in the league on top of one of the better defenses in the league. I mean, the defense has shown like the cracks in the armor, but like there's a lot of good about this team that like when the guy you thought was going to be the starting quarterback just isn't playing the entire season. So they could even be better than this if JJ McCarthy ends up being better than Sam Darnold.
Can I be honest, too, though? I don't think JJ is going to be better than Darnold. I think the Vikings are probably really in a predicament right now because
I agree.
They drafted him, and then now Darnold's this good for you. So they kind of have to sit back and be like, well, shit, because in my mind, you cannot bench him and move forward with JJ. I do not think you can. I literally, I'm like, JJ at this point is going to sit behind him and learn, or you're going to be at least hearing trade offers because you have to. Like it's, you know what I mean? So, and that is what it is. It's a good problem to have.
I don't think they would have been as dominant with McCarthy. Love the kid, but this is Darnold's team. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you just said, if you have trade offers for JJ McCarthy and you see Sam Darnold playing this well, if you could get something of need for JJ McCarthy,
Literally.
I think you do it because
'Cause-
like you see what you can do with Sam Darnold, so why not?
Yeah. And I mean, it just to remind everybody out there, Sam Darnold is 27 years old.
Right. He's not
Like,
old at all.
It's that like it and that broke my brain because there are so many dudes who were drafted later, like years after him that are like still they're older than he is. It's crazy. Like he came out
Right.
so young, and it was just the wrong team. Period. And we've literally said that so many times. Like the Jets franchise is hell. If you were drafted there as a quarterback, kiss your fucking career goodbye. And it's been like that for like 40 fucking years. It's not even it's not a short window. Like Chad Pennington, career was a disaster. Like and he should have been better. Like if he was drafted by literally anyone else, he would have been better, period. And then obviously you have Mark Sanchez, Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith. Look at Geno Smith now and tell me that the Jets are not the abyss when he's been this good for Seattle. Like it's crazy. The amount of people like QBs that escape that place and become better and get to show off what they're really made of. This man has not thrown a pick since November 10th.
Yeah, that's crazy.
His last 4 games, Tennessee, number 1 passing defense in the league. Chicago Bears, their passing defense is not bad. Their rushing defense is pretty shit, but their passing defense is not bad. He put up 330 on them, 2 tuds. Arizona, tight win. I don't give a shit. He beat him, period. And then obviously Atlanta, he demolished 5 touchdowns, 12.4 yards per completion. His QBR his ESPN rating 157.9. That is literally 0.4 off of perfect.
Right.
He's played nothing short of incredible. He has 28 touchdowns, 10 picks. Yeah, I literally, I'm like, for the Vikings, it's the best problem ever, right? You have a quarterback that you were maybe like, you were fully expecting to be the backup, and he has overperformed. And then now you have a guy you drafted who got hurt, who you're like, all right, we'll keep him. Well, obviously he'll be on the roster. He can learn from Darnold because that's exactly what should happen. And then if a desperate team misses a QB in the draft, they can call us and make an offer that we will probably listen to, because why wouldn't you? So
true. Agreed. And Shaq also said definitely Darnold is in his prime. If you swipe a pick or 2 for McCarthy, grab yourself more pieces. NFL, watch out. Exactly. So
Vikings get a corner, like a number 1 corner that's actually shut down, and they get another edge rusher to just bolster what they already have. It's like they're horrifying. They're legitimately horrifying.
Oh yeah.
And that division, as much as the Lions are in first right now, the Vikings are not a team to even consider looking past. That game was a 2-point game, and they play again. So we shall see if that game is
that will be interesting.
Yeah, there might not be a game left on the entire schedule for anybody that I'm looking forward to more than that. Just seems like cinema to me. So,
oh yeah.
RJ, but just random, RJ Barrett is balling the fuck out right now. 28 points, 4 assists, 7 boards. Currently, Knicks are up 2. Minute 37 to go. It's a good game though. I've been watching like back and forth.
Damn you, Knicks.
I know. Well, I was mad that fucking Cat actually was active. I was hoping he wouldn't be, but he is. So it is what it is.
Of course, he is 19, 14, and 6.
Why couldn't he just like suck?
I wish they kept Julius Randle.
One day, just for one day, just suck. Yeah.
Yeah, I love RJ though because I have him in my with a bunch of other fantasy sports writers. I did a 30-team salary cap dynasty fantasy basketball league.
Okay.
So it's legitimately like building an actual like NBA team, and you have like contracts for each player that go X amount of years, and the commissioner keeps track of all the contracts in like a big sheet. It's a beast. I haven't even come close because all of my people, I risked it and went with like injury prone people, and they've been injured. So yeah.
I just
Anyway.
opened Immaculate Grid for the first time today to see what the teams were. I'm very happy.
Okay. We can go through picks lightning fast.
Yeah.
And then
And then
we'll
we can
get into
Back
that.
into that.
Shaq says the thing with Cat is that his play style will catch up to him in the playoffs. He's found a nice groove, but he has a reputation of playing small to the center and hucking up boneheaded shots. Yes, he does. And
Ooh.
I don't want to say I'm a Cat hater because I don't hate the guy, but I have been on the record plenty of times on my other podcast, The Atlantic Files, saying
I was going to say you should watch your other podcast.
Yeah. I do have another podcast called The Atlantic Files. We have a YouTube as well. But I have said plenty that I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is as good as people think he is, especially when it comes to the playoffs and having to actually lead a team, especially when it comes down to like the nitty gritty of any playoff series, big moment, anything.
Well, I think the biggest deal with the Knicks situation in like specifically is obviously Mitchell Robinson's been out the whole year, right? So if that is the case in the playoffs and you have Cat as your like dedicated, really only center, that's a liability. Because even with the Timberwolves, it's like Gobert was really the center and Cat was kind of playing power forward in a lot of ways, and that did not work at all. And Cat just does not have that physical gene when it comes to like that will to win, like put your body on the line kind of deal when it really matters. So yeah, fully agree.
He's much more suited as a stretch four than he is a center. That's like stretch four would be his bread and butter.
His build just says that too, but it literally is just the matter of like he said he was a center, so he's marked as a center. Like
the Knicks and Knicks fans are gonna realize that they miss Isaiah Hartenstein a lot more than than they originally thought.
Yeah, when they're watching the Thunder go deeper in the playoffs than they are.
Exactly.
So
exactly. So yeah, we can go through our picks pretty quickly here before I have to jump off, and so we can fit in the Immaculate Grid. So let's bring it up. So Thursday night game is the Rams at the 49ers.
Rams.
That's where I was leaning too, because like
I just I have so much more faith in what they've been doing. And even the Niners like beating the Bears like that. The Bears second half looked a lot better than the first half. The Rams will not have that much of a dud of a first half to where they cannot come back.
I agree.
And their defense won't give up as much. So yeah. You can just do the next two, I think. Kansas City cannot lose to Cleveland based on the script that's been written. Baltimore, I'm sorry, if Baltimore loses to Drew Lock or fucking Tommy DeVito, I almost said Danny DeVito. So anyway, I thought it blasting. Like it's not happening.
If the Ravens lose this game when I pick them, you realize I'm never picking the Ravens again ever in my life. I'm just letting you know that now because of that superstition.
And I would fully respect and understand every single bit of that.
And actually, I came into this episode knowing who I'm picking for Kansas City, Cleveland.
Okay.
And I'm picking the Browns.
Let's go, Jameis.
Because if there's anybody that black magic does not affect, it's Jameis fucking Winston.
You're not wrong. And oh my god, don't convince me, man, because it's in Cleveland. Yeah, no, we'll leave it as it is before I change my mind. Oh my god.
So we got
Just
Cincinnati at Tennessee.
here, I'll give you a hint. It's this.
Oh yeah.
I don't give a Will Levis is so ass. Cincinnati's defense might be the worst thing I've ever seen. They'll still pick his ass off twice. Like he's so bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, Shaq said Stafford is making a push. Touchdown who?
Cowboys. Number 3,
Who
whoever
scored?
the fuck number 3 is.
Oh, that's Cooks. Damn it.
There's a flag. It's probably on the defense though.
Rico Dowdle.
He ran it down to like 3. I'm sorry.
Oh.
He got yards.
Stafford is making a push. Love the guy. Yeah, I always respect Stafford. He's always been a stand-up guy. I'll always root for Stafford. Washington at the Saints. I feel like this is an easy one as well.
Yeah. No Taysom Hill for the Saints is death sentence. I'm sorry. And then Derek Carr just got hurt too, so they're fucked.
Dallas at Carolina. I'm definitely going Carolina.
Bryce Young for the win. If they win, I'm wearing my Steve Smith jersey on the pod.
Oh, hell yeah.
Next week.
Jets at Jacksonville. This one.
Oh my god.
This one is way more interesting.
It's not, dude, it's not even interesting. It's just the worst fucking feeling ever because we're like, the Jets are so bad. Literally, they're so fucking bad that we're like actually questioning if they can beat Mac Jones and the goddamn Jags. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You know what? Fuck it. Just give me Jacksonville, man. I hate the Jets this much. I refuse to pick Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if my record goes tanked the rest of the goddamn year. I will not pick his fucking stupid ass ever again.
I am going to pick the Jets just because fantasy-wise, I do have a couple of the Jets, and this will be the first week of the fantasy playoffs, so I need them to actually do fucking well.
And that's fully valid. Respect that.
And then Miami at Houston, I think, is actually an interesting game, especially because Miami has been playing better lately.
I'm
Houston.
I'm
so
not
it's
even
not
gonna
a
think.
cold weather game.
I'm not even going to think. It's Miami, period.
That's what I was actually going with, too. So
CJ's playing like shit. Tua's playing like fucking incredible. So, yeah. I mean, if you and people overlook this, obviously, like locker room vibes matter. And as much as like we already talked about, like AJ saying that, I don't even think that is a vibe killer. It's just him being real. And because the Eagles are who they are, they're going to try and actually work on it and build from it instead of just be like, oh, he said this. So like, Miami's not like Miami's got vibes right now and Houston doesn't. So yeah, I don't, the home or away doesn't matter. So
the next game here is Pittsburgh at Philly, and Shaq says this will be a hell of a game. I'm not sure if we can afford to start slow like we usually do.
I will be fully blunt here as an Eagles fan. I'm picking Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I think if you have no if we've had trouble passing for a couple weeks now, and there was really like as much as we said earlier, like there was really no excuse this week because only Goddard was out. Like you had Devontae back, you had every reason to succeed, and even Calcaterra had his first touchdown. So it's like tight end found the end zone. Yeah, I know it's in Philly. I know that it does matter. Pittsburgh to me, defensively, is going to be a problem for what the Eagles are currently presenting. If they're going to be really run forward, they're going to and that's what they're going to rely on. That might not be the move. And do I think it'll be really close? Like this could be one of those like stupid 24-22, 24-23 super tight games. So, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh because I don't think any winning streak is immune. And
I think the big thing that'll come down to is if George Pickens is healthy or not. He did not play last week. I mean, obviously it didn't affect them because they were playing Cleveland.
Well, I think Quinyon will lock his ass up too. I think it'll just be a stupid game, like a weird game where somebody on the Steelers pops off that you wouldn't like anticipate necessarily.
But that's the thing. If you don't have Pickens, then Quinyon locks down your next best player.
Yeah, and that's true.
You're relying on God knows who. Like if you have George Pickens in there. You have the slight possibility that he gets into a fist fight with Quinyon and gets him thrown out.
I think Quinyon would beat the fuck out of him, to be clear.
No, he probably would, but then you lose Quinyon. You know what I'm saying? Like
Quinyon is that dude, but yeah,
But-
I'm going on gut because I'm literally like the Eagles have been winning so much that I literally am sitting here just like they have to lose eventually. And I know that's like a weird thought, but literally like the PTSD of last year and the Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs, it's like it's got to happen. And the Steelers have been good, so it's like it's not like I'm picking a weird team. Like the Steelers are a good fucking team. So
yeah, I'm also gonna pick Pittsburgh because they tend to win in crazy fashions.
And weird environments, and obviously
and
playing in
weird
Philly's tough. So
I actually will be at.
And Russell Wilson has never lost to the Eagles.
Oh, I did not know that.
So that is also another thing I just remembered.
Oh,
He's never lost to Philadelphia. So
interesting.
I
will actually be at this game. A friend of mine has box seats.
Sheesh.
And I don't turn down free box seats.
I mean, is your wife going?
She's not. I was the only person invited.
Damn, that's tough because her family's the Steelers fans, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's probably looking at you like cross-eyed, like you piece of shit.
Well, I said to her, I was like, if I can get another ticket, do you want to go? And she was like, honestly, you should take my brother. He's the more diehard Steelers fan.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I would take either one of you. And we didn't get an extra ticket. So
I see why you wifed her. That's What a response. What a legendary response.
For sure. Shakir also said, I'll take Pittsburgh only because I'm not going to jinx it. Picked Philly versus Carolina, and we were one drop away from losing. Yeah, that's true. Jack just said, got an extra seat. I wish I did.
Denver. And then we can move on.
Definitely taking Denver over.
Jesus Christ. Pat Surtain, 4 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. Indy is in shambles. I'm sorry.
So that brings us
holy fuck.
That brings us to the other most interesting game of the week. Buffalo at Detroit.
I'm just going Detroit. Yeah. The way Buffalo lost this week, yes, they scored 42. If their defense can't stop shit, the Lions have the same arsenal. They have 2 running backs. They have 2 wide receivers. They have a tight end, and then obviously even like fucking Reynolds, like Tim Patrick's been stepping up. He had 2 tuds in their game this week. So I mean,
we do have to switch some things up. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm thinking they're going to be pissed off. Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid did not play this past week.
Okay,
they could be back, so we shall see.
Okay,
Patriots at the Cardinals. I'm never picking the fucking Cardinals again. So.
Shit. All right. Well, you said we had to switch some shit up. I'll just take Arizona for the sake of us not having the same exact picks. Even though I really hate myself for that because fuck. Watch Ramondre have like 160 scrimmage yards. God damn it.
I know. Tampa Bay at the Chargers is another interesting game. I will say
this is an underrated. The next one after this is good too. I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Okay.
Only because it's in LA and because I don't know how much they can stomach, and also like the AFC, they kind of have to win this one to keep the wild card deal going.
Right.
In my opinion, like they need to get to 9 wins. So yeah, I think their defense has not been the problem. Their offense has been fine. If McConkey's playing, I don't see how Tampa can like keep up.
Okay. I was just looking at Bucky Irving's status. So he hurt his back, but they kept him out to avoid any setbacks. So he should be good to go for week 15.
I think you should just pick LA.
In that case, I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Motherfucker. All right. This is going to be
Green
how you
Bay-
catch me. You're going to hit all these, and I'm going to lose.
Oh, by the way, Shaq said, I will say Goff is no Stafford, and the way to beat the Lions, in my opinion, is to stop the run and make Goff win the game. If the Bills can be toe-to-toe, it'll be a great one. Little hot take there. Goff is great, don't get me wrong. No, I see what you're saying, though. I get it, for sure.
Yeah. I just don't know how I don't know how Buffalo stops both.
Yeah, Buffalo's run defense is the worst part of their defense.
Like
That's the issue.
And that, but the biggest part of it too is what the fuck was that throw, Joe? What was that throw, Joe Burrow? What the fuck was that throw? Anyway, that might have been a pick. The way I think about the Lions offense, it's like, okay, maybe you shut down Demont, right? You shut down Knuckles, and you're like, all right, cool, we're doing great. Sonic still exists, and he catches a lot, and Montgomery also catches a lot. So it's not even just the running; it's like the fact that they get a lot of receptions and targets out of the backfield just by design, and that is just so hard to deal with as a defense because they line up the same way. So you really don't know what's coming unless they have some tells that we would need to see on tape. But yeah, the way I understand Buffalo is they are good, but to put up 42 and your defense gave up fucking 44, and now you have to go into Detroit. If it was in Buffalo, I'd be like, all right, maybe we're going to flip the fucking script here, but it's in Detroit, and that makes it that much harder. So
that's true. I'm taking the Packers for Green Bay at Seattle. I think Green Bay comes back with a little bit of a vengeance here, and grabs a win.
I'll take Seattle because I think they want to make sure they do not squander the division lead that they have. I think
Chicago
the
at Minnesota.
Next two we can just both put Minnesota and Atlanta because the Raiders are a dumpster fire and Chicago cannot win on the road as we have seen because they haven't yet. So they're not going to do it now.
And Las Vegas has Desmond Ridder starting.
It's the Desmond Ridder revenge game against the team that drafted him, everybody. And I don't care because no. Fucking no. It ain't happening. I'm sorry. I know Kirk Cousins could probably pull a Jared Goff and throw 5 picks in a game, and they'd still they'd still win because the Raiders cannot. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. This is not happening. So,
well, there is our week 15 picks. So if you want to bring up the Immaculate Grid, we can get this popping for the end of the episode.
You see this left side and why it's perfect? You see this fucking left side and why it's perfect? Come on, bro.
Oh, of course.
Eagles and Bengals. Come on now. All right. I mean,
yeah, Shaq, I know last week we did not have this last time, but usually to end off each podcast episode, we do that day's Immaculate Grid. So you can always chip in with any answers you might have too. So let us know. We try to go for the most obscure. Yeah, that is one thing we go for.
I had 2 locked for Eagles Cowboys. And it was Herschel Walker or Randall Cunningham because they're both right, but I want Herschel.
For the 1,000+ yards receiving in a season, does it have to be with that team or does it have to be just any season?
I believe so. Yeah, it has to be with that team.
Okay.
So 1,000 yards season.
Shaq just said, my buddy who's in a wheelchair told me once he would willingly get up to turn off a Desmond Ridder game. Oh my god, that is
amazing. Man, where's my notebook? Hold up. We're running it back. It's still pages open. Boom.
Amen.
Banger.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
All right. So Bengals, Cowboys. Ironically, are you ready? Is Terrell Owens is
that is true.
Very off. I'm just gonna do it. Fuck it. I don't even give a shit.
That is true.
16%. That's valid. Yeah.
Dallas has had a lot of wide receivers come through there. But if we're talking 1,000-yard seasons, did Michael Gallup
I think he did.
I'm gonna fact check myself.
I think he did, but there was another obscure
He
Cowboys.
did.
Yeah, there's another one I'm going to check. Give me 1 second. I'm not even going to say the name because
Okay.
I'm very curious because I know he played a while, but I don't know if he ever hit it. No, he did. All right. He was as bad as I thought. That's fair.
I'm gonna rock with
That's
out.
I'm in. Let's just Hi, Immaculate Grid. Would you kindly fucking Is it a you?
Yeah.
Of course it is. 2% banger.
Oh hell yeah.
All right. Well, the obvious Bengals Texans is Joe Mixon, so we're gonna go ahead and avoid the shit out of that.
Cooks, I don't think he played for Cincy. Oh yeah, no. I was thinking
Okay, I see where your head's at. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Texans Bengals.
Ooh. This will probably be way too high percent. Fuck.
Oh.
Derek Barr. Ooh, wait. I hate myself.
Texans Bengals.
Who do you think would be higher percentage for Eagles Texans? D'Amico Ryans or Barnett, the edge rusher who
the one who also played for like Seattle and everything?
No. The Derek Barnett. He was a
Derek
rookie
Barnett.
When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and he's now on the Texans currently. Who do you think would be lower? Head coach or current edge rusher?
I don't know if that many people knew D'Amico Ryans played for the Eagles.
I feel that way too, so I'm just going to do it. They did. They knew.
Yep, Shaq said Ryans would be higher, I would assume.
It's my favorite number, so I'm not even that mad. 47 is my favorite number, but
there's definitely someone for Texans Bengals that I have like in the front of my mind, but I can picture them, but I can't picture the number of the name, which is obviously the two big things.
They matter. They matter a little bit.
The two positions I'm thinking of too are defensive line and wide receiver.
Okay.
And for some reason, I did think of Mario Williams, but I don't think he ever played for Cincinnati.
Okay. Ooh, all right. I got a couple bangers.
Okay.
I want to see if you all right. I'm gonna name only positions, and I want to see if you can just get them. All right. So this is gonna be fun.
This is for Texans Bengals.
Yep, because there's all right. So this is hilarious. At quarterback, there have been 3. At running back, there have been 5. That includes Joe Mixon. At receiving, this blows my mind. There's only been 3. There's literally only been 3. And 2 of them are running backs that have had, and it literally says 3 players have caught a pass for each of these franchises. That's it. And that's insane to me. But the QBs, I promise you, all 3. You know all 3. 100%.
Is Carson Palmer one of them?
No, he is not.
Okay. How old are we talking?
So one of them was drafted in, I believe, 2006.
Okay. 2006. I know it's not Matt Schaub.
Okay, yep, you're safe there because he was only a Texan and a Falcon. Shout out Westchester East High School, our high school alma mater. All right, one of them. All right, I'll say I can preface it like this: one of them you would only know as a backup ever in his entire life.
Okay, interesting.
One of them was drafted to be a starter and didn't pan out, and one of them was in the league forever.
One of them was in the league forever. The one that was drafted and didn't pan out, was he drafted by Cincinnati or was he drafted by the Texans?
He was drafted by Cincinnati.
Okay.
If you do a guess and get it wrong, I'll give you a like collegiate style hint. Because he's a name I know that you know. Like we all know him, but it literally is a case of like he just did not become what anyone thought he could be, if that makes sense.
Right.
Actually, I have a lot of hints for him because he's kind of now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, he's yeah.
All right, what did Shaq say?
He said Cutler didn't play for the Bengals, right?
That's correct. He did not. As soon as you hear this name, you will be like, "Oh, yeah, got it."
Oh, I already know it's gonna be something that I'm gonna
Well,
get worried about.
There's two. The two names, yeah. There's two that you'll be annoyed. One, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, like I know him, but he's not." You know what I mean? It's not special.
Right.
But yeah.
I don't really have like a good guess, so I'm gonna randomly say, even though I know him more for Cleveland, Tim Couch.
No. I love that guess though. That's actually goated guess. Okay, I'll give a backup hint for the one I want you to get, because if I give a hint for the other guy, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay, I got it."
Okay.
He played for an SEC school in college.
Played for an SEC school in college. Okay. School in college. Damn. It's not. No. The one I was about to say Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he played in Harvard. Was that the other one?
Yep. That's why I didn't want to give you the Harvard hint. Because
if he's the other one,
I actually need to correct myself if I'm wrong here. Hold on. I'm going to correct myself before I even say it. I believe the team that drafted Fitzpatrick was the Rams, and they immediately they let him go, and then the Bengals were his second team. And he was back up to Palmer for 2 years.
Okay.
The other one, as soon as you hear the name, I know you're going to be mad, because he literally was like, in college, it was literally like he's going to be really good. And then it just didn't happen.
John Kitna?
No. He is young. He's far younger than Fitz. 2014 draft, I think. Is the year, I think. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Give it to me.
AJ McCarron.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
The only other hint I was going to give you for him was played in the XFL. Or the USFL, whatever, you know what I mean? Like he played in it once they merged. And crazy enough, he was actually he was Burrow's backup last year for a couple games.
I know that.
Yeah. But there you go.
Speaking of backup quarterbacks, commercial with Colt McCoy just popped up.
we have to lock AJ in here, because
I
go 2%. Let's go.
There we go.
1,000 yards.
Jack said, "Damn it! Of course it's McCann."
Yeah. He pops up when you really don't want him to. The most Oh my
is
god.
Andre.
Wait. Yeah. Yeah.
Nico Collins would also be obvious.
Ooh, I have a thought. Hold on. DeAndre Hopkins would be obvious.
Yeah.
I have a thought. Hold on. I need to check. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Ooh. Okay, I think this one's guaranteed because I think he's done it with every single team he's ever been on, which is impressive as fuck. And he's currently playing in the game that is on right now. That's the hint I'll give.
Brandon Cooks?
Yes.
Oh. I knew
He
he
has-
went for 1,000 yards. I just forgot which team he did it.
He
for.
did it. He did it twice with Houston.
Yep, Shaq said Cooks too.
Yep. So he did it. He was in New England 1 year. He did it there. He was with New Orleans 2 years. 3 years. He did it twice. He was with the Rams 2 years. He did it once there. With Houston for 3 years. He did it twice there. Obviously Dallas. He's like last year was just shit because they were frauds. And then this year he was hurt. So he could still get it given
Shaq
more
said
seasons.
Cooks has played on all 32 teams, man.
He's only been on 5. Brutal. Oh god, Pro Bowl. God. Ooh. 1 second. 1 second.
I actually don't remember him in New England either, Shaq. So you're not alone there. Wait, what's the third row? The search bar is over top of it.
Oh shit. Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think of an Eagle one that is literally so stupid.
And is this one Pro Bowl with the team or Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I assume it
general?
has to be. Either way, I'm gonna try and do it like that.
Then I might have
Fuck.
a decent guess.
I'm trying to think of the dumbest one ever. Actually, no, I should just go for the Eagles GOAT that's underappreciated. Who should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's a semifinalist for like the 3rd fucking time. One of the best CBs of the 90s.
What's his name? Oh, this is gonna bother me.
Isn't it fun? Aren't we having fun?
So fun.
I have one for Cincy that I kind of like.
Shaq says Eric Allen.
Oh, bang. There you go.
Yep. Got him up
W.
there. Good call, Shaq.
W. Dude he's literally the most overlooked CB in fucking NFL history. The dude was so good, and he's still not in the Hall, and it's disgusting. Only because fucking Dion was playing at the same goddamn time. It's like dude was in Buddy Ryan's fucking defense for like the start of his career. Like how fucking good do you think he was? Like, come on.
Shane Graham.
Cincy?
Yeah. Shayne.
This is gonna be fucking -%. Oh my god.
Yeah, kicker for the win, motherfucker.
Kickers every fucking time are the GOATs. 1,000-yard receiving Pro Bowl, brother. This is the most options we've ever had for any selection, I think.
Yeah, there's
holy shit. Ooh. Give me 1 second.
Shaq said you did some deep research there, didn't you? I actually was trying to think of the kicker that was there for a long time because I remember facing, as a Ravens fan, I remember facing a bunch of kickers with Cincinnati. But the first one that came to mind was Mike Nugent. And Nugent did not make a Pro Bowl. So it took me a while to remember the name Shane Graham, though. I will say that.
I like fully remember the name, but it literally that never ever would have come to me ever.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
did fact check myself before I said it. So like,
there's
I thought of the
no
name, then I
way.
looked.
That never ever would have come to my head ever.
Pro Bowl 1,000+ yards receiving. See, if there was a Pro Bowl and the Ravens
on.
were there, I would have 1,000% said Tyler Huntley. There's
All right,
no way that people remember he made a Pro Bowl.
A name popped in my head. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm locking this in because I've purchased this dude's signed helmet for my dad. One of maybe the best hands in football history.
Ooh.
Fred Biletnikoff.
Shaq said Steve Smith. That's another good one.
Yeah, Raiders. Nah, I had to go Freddie. 0.2. That's a W. And actually, stay put for literally half a millisecond. Since you said Steve Smith, give me 1 second.
We killed this one. There's only 3 guys with double digit, and then the rest are single digit with 3 decimals. Yeah, the points on this one are crazy. I know Tom's gonna come back with something. Good. Stay in there. Stay in your seat. By the way, let me see. Scorch. There it is. The classic. We got a score check on the game, by the way. Dallas is up 20-17 with 12:49 left in the fourth quarter.
Steve Smith is one of my underappreciated goats.
I love Steve Smith, man.
When
he came to the Ravens,
so insane.
What was our final score, by the way?
Pretty low, I think. Let me see the summary here. 84.
Damn. Was that our lowest?
One of.
I know it was like a couple weeks ago we had a really low one.
Yeah, we did have a crazy low one.
That just said only 32% of people get the Eagles-Texans one correct.
We had one that was 55 and then one that was 63.
Damn, we had 55?
Yeah, that one was actually wild. I'm pretty sure we had just like some fucking nutty ones. Hold on. So let's see. Let's see. We had... I want to see what we had, man.
Click the X. I think it shows you. No, like X out of that. Yeah.
There it is. Yeah. We had you pulled Ricky Wagner out of your ass. And Qadri Ismail. Fucking
Qadri
insane.
Ismail. Yeah.
I think I had Sonny Jurgensen, James Lofton for the fucking Packers because I was like, I actually remember that. I had the 2 Hall of Famers like locked because I was like,
oh yeah,
no one's gonna do this because they haven't played in 40 years or like 30 years, but literally they were so good.
And the 3,000-yard one, I was like, I know people don't think of Steve McNair as often anymore.
No, which is really unfortunate because he was incredible.
Loved Steve McNair. Shaq said he's going to come back with one of Otto Graham's receivers.
Yes. Excellent.
But yeah, that one was a crazy one that we pulled out of our asses.
Well, because I'd literally like just watched a fucking documentary on the Purple People Eaters, like the Minnesota Vikings. So I was like, that dude's head is living in here. I need to dig it the fuck out. It was pissing me off so bad that I just couldn't just like pull it out. And then as soon as it came, I was like, I'm typing it and we're sending it, period.
I'm so satisfied with the Shane Graham.
Yeah, Shaq. When he said Ricky Wagner, I had the same thought. What the hell is even that? Like, he said it, and I was like, I'm just going to type it because
there's random players throughout the NFL history that I, for no reason, remember because like either something funny happened at that point in time or something I hated happened at that point in time. So they just stick out in my head.
Yeah. But as soon as he said it, I was like, look, I trust my boy. We're just going to fire it. And it was just instantly there. And I was like, all right, we're rolling.
Oh, man, great times. But that is it here for us this week.
Our Pro Bowl column in this combined for 0.48%, bro. Holy shit. The only reason
That's
we had to
amazing.
score as high as we did was fucking D'Amico because I'm a muppet. I should have put Derek Barnett. God damn it.
That's hilarious.
Nobody cares about Derek Barnett, man. It would have been like 2%.
I know.
No one
Probably
cares.
would have.
God damn.
But
I failed.
that's it for us. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Shaq, we appreciate you tuning back in, man. Thank you for coming back and chatting with us and helping us out with the grid, too. We appreciate that a lot. We will be back next week. We'll be back next Monday, probably around 8 o'clock again. Shaq says was fun. I popped in a bit late due to work. Had a great time. I'll see you guys next Monday. Hey, we appreciate that a lot. And definitely don't apologize for work because I definitely
we feel that
yeah
on an emotional
we both
level.
100% understand that.
Monday's my only day I cannot be scheduled because my place of business is closed. So literally, trust me, I get it. Like the reason we do Mondays is because at this point he doesn't have volleyball and I literally cannot be scheduled. So it just works.
Ends up working out.
Yeah.
But yep, we will catch everybody next week. Make sure you check out Spotify. Our videos are also posted on there for each week's podcast. All of our other video projects are on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe, like if you liked the episode, hit the bell, let you know when we go live each Monday. And we are everywhere else you get your podcast, but it's only the audio on those platforms. So thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.